Alright, this matchup is always expected to be a ridiculous scoring output going back to last year, because neither team can seem to slow each other down, and it required actual stops, whether it was a block, strip, steal, or a forced turnover. If it wasn't a quick hand on a shot, drive, or in those passing lanes, then there weren't many stops, because both defenses were getting burned on those screening actions, and both offenses had players getting to their spots often, so it was either a bucket or a whistle every time. A contest didn't do shit, especially for the Jazz, and Clarkson showed that on the left wing. It was obvious he couldn't wait to fry as soon as he subbed in, and I wouldn't even say some of his shots had bad defense, because those were just situations of better offense. He even damn near hit a half-court heave to end the first, then made up for it with a tray over Book to end the second, but that left side wasn't just doing him good, and the entire team was eating there. They were finding Laurie, so he was doing the same thing, and even Keontae hit a tough step back, but the most surprising one still came from Walker Kessler finding Tracy from the corner at the start of the game. I can't even blame Nurk for cheating off him, because I didn't even know he could wet it, and the only reason they didn't have control of the game in the first half was because the Suns' shot making was just as good as theirs. The most obvious reason for that was just having Durant back, because he was frying on his ones throughout, whether that was in the post or hunting a mismatch, and he was still diming when he got doubled one pass away or on those slips that the Jazz couldn't guard. But more importantly, his shot making must have rubbed off on Book, because he finally found his shot again, and nothing changed other than him making his looks. At least Royce has been on a ridiculous heater lately, and even then, they still needed Tyus to go on his own just to win this shootout, because he was crucial for him in the third. That quarter was when they finally got control of the game, and it started with that quick run early to put him up 12, but it wasn't even that secure because the Jazz still made their runs, so they had to make a lot of timely shots to maintain it. Whenever the Jazz cut the lead to within 4 to 5, they had an answer, and that was the only way they survived the fourth, because their offense got too sticky. There were a lot of late clock situations, especially when they didn't have Durant and Book on the court together early in the quarter, because the Jazz were just selling without consequences, so they somewhat lost their rhythm throughout. But fortunately, Book and Royce iced the game in the last 2 minutes, and it was only fitting Royce's dagger came against the Jazz's zone, because every time they tried it, they got burned. Just watch the tape.
The former Jazz man puts a dagger.